Good morning, good afternoon. Wherever you are in the world, welcome to the Armory. I hope everyone is doing well. We've had an interesting weekend as Arsenal fans, if I'm honest. If you just support the men's, then it's a bad weekend. But if you support Arsenal as a club, then it's been a mixed bag. One bad result, one very good result, which we'll get onto in a little bit. But we got the wonderful silver one. It's probably going to be a last one for a while as well, due to the fact it's Christmas and it's madness in the daytime. How are we doing?
Yeah, I mean, look, you touched on it. I was going to say the same thing, a mixed bag. If you're a fan of the football club in its entirety, obviously it was disappointing on Saturday, but yesterday, I'm sure we're going to touch on it. But yeah, brilliant. As for the Villa game, obviously you done your reaction, but yeah, disappointed. We can talk about the VAR decisions and all that, but look, at the end of the day, Arteta said what he said now, and like I said before, it's a boys' club and it's human reaction. At the end of the day, they're not going to be giving us a lot now. We just need to concentrate on our own football, and that kind of what let us down ultimately on Saturday, because I don't think we played overly bad.
Yeah,
It's just the fact that we lack that killer instinct and you got to look at some of the players like Odegaard had 2 or 3 chances which he should have buried, and in other games you've seen him do it. He just didn't do it then. So yeah,
yeah,
it is what it is. Villa, credit where it's due. They're on fire at the moment, beating Man City and Arsenal in the same week. You got to credit them. They got that early goal, and that's what killed us.
yeah, exactly. Let's get into the comments because they're already building up. Big up to Luke. Morning Gooners, woke up to a flood of salty tears from Holmes and Andy Reid. Who's Andy Reid?
He's the head coach of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh, okay. No idea. Don't like the team, so I have no interest whatsoever. Morning, Bobby, and the silver one. Come on, the girls. You can rely on my girls, Russo and McCabe. Yeah, 100%. Please let's talk about VR as an excuse. Tony's already read my mind. Both Tonys have read my mind, to be fair. We'll get onto that very shortly. Right. So, yes, as we said, Aston Villa beat us 1-0. It is what it is. However, now my granddad taught me this, and my granddad sadly is not around anymore, but I listened to everything he said, and it's got me into a position, where I do a lot of stuff behind the scenes now. So this is how I look at it. And look, stop blaming officials. We are back to being the most hated club. Embrace it. Now, we've always been the most hated club, and we've always said, and my granddad and my dad, when we went to Highbury, the officials will always be against us. So we've got to do what we've got to do to take the officials away from it. So, like, if we put our chances away at the weekend, which we had many chances, we would have won that game. And no matter what the officials decided to try and mess us up with, we still would have won the game. People are moaning because we didn't win the game because of VAR. Who says that red card changes the game? We don't know, because I've seen a game. I think was it Liverpool that went down to 10 men. They ended up winning against Newcastle. I think that was it Newcastle or Tottenham? I can't remember. Newcastle game.
The difference for this, if there was a red card and we were 1-0 down, we know what Villa were going to do anyway. So if we did go down to 10 men, they'd have all of them, at the back, and it would have been harder for us to break them down.
Exactly. And who says if we got that penalty, we score the penalty?
Well, there's that as well.
You don't score every penalty. You just don't. So my theory is just beat the officials by beating the team that we're playing. That's how I've always looked at it.
And exactly, how much sweeter would each victory be?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? So
some TikTokers did a video the other day, and I was expecting him just to go in on VAR. And in respect to him, he did say Arsenal, if they put their chances away, would have won the game anyway, which is the right thing, the right way to look at it. Because if we did put our chances away and we were the dominant side, we would. I don't know if you saw this, Tony. It really wound me up. I have to be honest. Certain Arsenal channel, I'm not going to mention them because I can't stand them, said, "Oh, maybe it was because of the wind." Like, seriously, the wind. It was very windy up here. Yes, it was. I admit that there was a bit of a storm. I was doing the stream whilst the storm was going. But Wolves play, and I've never seen any games really called off because of as a bit of a wind. Like seriously, come on.
No, I didn't see that, but I think I know who
It
you're
was a
talking about.
certain person that actually created the channel. He said it, and I'm like, seriously, mate, come on. Jeez, talk about doing certain things just to get somewhere. Jeez, unbelievable. Anyway, so that's how I look at it. Embrace it. Embrace being the most hated club because it means that we've got our Arsenal back. We were the most hated club in the 80s and 90s. I loved it. I loved every moment of it. So look, considering I work in the field as well, I love being an Arsenal fan because people hate me for it, and I don't care. My best buddy is someone at Tottenham. You could just imagine the conversations that me and him have. He works at Tottenham. I support the Arsenal. I work in the football field. He has to come to me to ask me for favours. I can be an arse, and I'm not, because at the end of the day, football is what I love. But he absolutely hates the Arsenal, and I love it. Anyway, let's move on to a bit of a better conversation. Obviously, and I will say this: Arsenal women batter Chelsea because it was a battering. We could have won that 8-1. And to be fair, Chelsea's goal shouldn't have been allowed anyway. It was offside. But the WSL have voted against the VAR, so there's no VAR.
You know what they did, Bobby? You know what they did, Bobby? They carried on and played their game.
Yeah, exactly. Don't moan about it. Because honestly, that is the best performance. I've covered pretty much every WSL game this season, I think. There's a couple of Conti Concert games I've missed, but it's impossible to watch. But that was the best performance by Arsenal by a mile. And I have to ask, where was Sam Kerr and where was Frank Kirby? Because I didn't see him. Where were the number one players from a certain country in North America? Because they didn't turn up either. I'm just saying. Because supposedly they were meant to be world class. World class players can win you games. World class players did not even turn up yesterday. Arsenal did. Arsenal played their game, destroyed Chelsea. What we must do, and I got a horrible feeling because it's North London derby on Saturday. Don't go there and with a whimper, please, Arsenal. We need to destroy Tottenham. They were destroyed by Man United yesterday, 4-0. But yeah, that's my little rant. And obviously, record attendance as well. So big up to the Arsenal women, because honestly, the amount of work that goes behind the scenes to get the attendance that we do is extensive. So big up to Arsenal Football Club as well, because without the people that work behind the scenes to get the fans interested, it just wouldn't happen. How did you feel about the game, and how do you feel about the attendance, Tony?
It's all around very impressive. They were up for it. You can see it. I mean, the early goals suggest that. With well worked corners, Russo's goal. Wow, what a goal that was! That's what we signed her for. I mean, she took that brilliantly. But yeah, look, you've been questioning their performances all season, and they saved their best for the best.
Yeah,
and that is all you can ask for. And what's the result? And do you know what? The significance of that win as well is obviously that we're level points of them now, and that brings the goal difference down as well. So scoring 4, 3 unanswered is the perfect situation. So hopefully they can kick on from this, and who knows, go on a bit of a run and maybe take that top spot.
It's mad because our goal difference was massively behind Chelsea before that game. I think it was like 9 or something like that. It was a crazy amount. But if we just scored 2 more goals, we would have overtaken them on goal difference. It's honestly, I get Millie Bright is such an important player to Chelsea, but it's Chelsea. They've got a squad like us. Their bench is ridiculous. We are the 2 biggest clubs in the WSL by a mile. Man City and Man U they're good, but they've got a good first 11. That's about it. But that was such a dominant performance. Russo, my word, what a performance she had yesterday. That first goal she had, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I don't know if you saw me when I was going, it's Russo. I felt like I was watching a horse racing because I just kept going, Russo. I love it. It cheered me up. it cheered me up from the Villa game. I have to be honest. I love watching Arsenal women. It always makes me smile. I remember just going to Meadow Park and just watching them. But yeah, it's lovely to see us playing at the Emirates now and getting that kind of attendance. It's just amazing.
And the game's going to go from strength to strength from now. You know, the coverage is there. I think it's great. That obviously, you still get to watch it on BBC. You can get to watch it on YouTube. Sky Sports have picked up some of it. So it is growing. I just want to have. I want to mention Lauren James. She's dirty, and like I saw her do it for England, and I've said it to her. She's overrated for me. Overrated, just like her brother. I mean, she gets rattled so quickly. Like, was that the 60th minute when she bumped into Ruben Moy and then trod on? Was it Catley?
Yeah.
No, I think it was Ford. But yeah, still, I mean, and I think she got away with it, didn't she? Yeah. But she didn't for England, and she could have cost England as well during the World Cup early in the competition. So I don't know what people see in this player, but she's disgusting, and I need to bring it up because I was appalled.
She's a decent player. I think she's all right. It's not someone I would want at Arsenal. And when you're talking about the foul that Lauren James did, the ref definitely was not on our side. She was all Chelsea yesterday. But again, we just did what we needed to do. And that's how Arsenal have always been for years. Never mind the official, just do your job. At the end of the day, the officials can only do a certain amount to get involved in the game. But if you put your dinner away, you're doing the job. But yeah, sorry, I know we're going on.
That's all we can ask for.
Exactly. I know I'm in a mini rant, but honestly, I'm in the mood today. I've got VAR review later, so yeah, I'm in the mood. I think we must keep shining a light on their incompetence, though. Yeah, 100%, mate. They hate when I attend these meetings because I say it how it is. Yeah, it's going to be fun later. I have to be honest because there's been a lot of VAR stupidity over the weekend once again. But it's the officials I always have a go at because the actual system I actually think is brilliant. It's so good, so quick, and they're just using it.
I think what the problem is, Bobby. I think what triggered a lot of Arsenal fans off on Saturday, and I think it's well within reason, is seeing what happened in the Liverpool Palace game.
Yeah, don't help, does it? Yeah,
and. Let's be real. Those 2 yellow cards were as soft as you'd ever see. Like that second for Jordan Ayew, everybody was confused. The commentators were confused. The stadium were like, "What?"
Yep.
Like it was one of those ones.
Yep.
Yeah, the referee didn't have the best of games because he gave a penalty, then overturned it. Didn't give a penalty, but then gave a penalty. Didn't have the best of games anyway. I can't remember who it was. Was it Kavanagh? I can't remember. But it was probably that didn't help. Help matters, and then what happened in our game, and I think it just triggered a lot of people, which is understandable. But again, like we said earlier, they're not going to be on our side after the Arteta comments. They're not, and people will say, "Well, Hodgson's made comments, but he's the manager of Crystal Palace." Let's be real here. He'll probably get away with it, but we need more managers to say stuff. And the thing is, they're not going to. They're not going to, because they see what's happening with like us, for example. So
yeah, but yeah, Tony's saying that. What I was wanting to say quickly about VAR, the Saudi league is one league I'm keeping an eye out at the moment because they're using VAR and they're using it absolutely brilliantly. Once again, impeccable decisions being made. It's quick as well. There was an incident with Rodrigo, who I can't think who he plays for, but the ex-Leeds player, where quick time, it looked like a yellow. I'll be honest, I was watching the game and I was like, that's a yellow. Then I was like, they're going to VAR. I was like, why? I don't know why. Went to it, clearly a red. It just shows that VAR is there to protect the players as well. And Romero yesterday, 100% should have got a red. 100% didn't. That's not me being an Arsenal fan. That's me being honest. I've seen the challenge.
Oh, I saw it as well. Yeah, no, I saw it.
It's disgraceful. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to this later. I have to be honest. Yes, that was a 5-1 result. To be honest, that was about a 9-0 result because Black Stenius had 2 good chances as well at the end.
I think you might be talking about the Villa game here.
Oh, are we? Oh, okay,
Yeah.
might be. Yeah. Jesus has a weak mentality. He prefers to dive in the 18-yard than stand of his ground and score. Let's get Tony in January. That won't happen. Oh, we are doomed. What I do know is we are looking at a cheaper option to what we were going to do in the summer next year. So we are trying to bring someone in. We're looking at a cheaper option.
And
Don't know how.
Bobby, I'm for that, to be honest, because I would rather us spend big on a proper striker in the summer than get a striker for like 50, 60, 70 million, and then we can't spend the money on a proper striker in the summer.
Yeah.
So I am for that. I do think we need to sort our midfield out as well. So obviously with Partey and El Neni gettable, Partey's never available. El Neni is going to be at the Cup of Nations. We need to sort out the fullbacks as well. Maybe, I don't know, because Tommy Asu will be going to the Asia Cup. So it's if we could get Tony for like 30, 40 million in January, then that's fine. But you're not. That's the problem.
No.
You're not going to get a quality striker in January. You're not. You're not.
No, there is a player that we're looking at the moment that could cost around the 40, 50 million pound mark. How far it will go, because at the problem, the big issue is the January window is a nightmare. A lot of clubs don't want to sell either because they're important to them. You know that they're pushing for whatever trophy they're pushing for. I from what I know, El Neni may not be an Arsenal player by February either. He might be being sold as well because I think the Saudi league are after him. So there's that other option. I still think the midfield will be coming in mid-January, but we might be looking at. But that does mean, and people need to be prepared for this, that Eddie could be going, because the only way I feel that we can get this striker in January is if we sell Eddie. Smith Rowe, I think he's gone. If Ramsdale, the offer comes in, I think we'll sell Ramsdale in January. It could be a massive January. But we'll wait and see because there's so much to do. So much to do. Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning to you, Chris. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Arteta has started all this blame of VR. Well, a lot of clubs do it, to be fair. I don't just put it on Arteta. Arteta's still going to get a punishment for what happened previously. But yeah.
That's likely to be before Brighton, isn't it?
Yeah, he'll probably hear this week, I would have assumed. Wind, try watching Blackpool versus Carlisle at weekend. Oh, exactly. I'm not the one that said it. I'm not the nana that says it, because personally, I remember playing in extreme conditions. I've played in the snow with a white ball. I've played in horrible conditions, and I was semi-pro. But yeah, look, it wasn't that windy. It was windy enough just to have a bit of an issue with the sky, and that was about it.
Yeah, but these are professional footballers. They should be able to play in any conditions.
Yeah, exactly. Look at what they were doing at the Jets. Who were the Jets playing last night?
Oh, I can't remember, but yeah.
But yeah, they were playing in awful conditions, and they just kept going. And that, it is what it is. Did I miss that one? I know who you mean, Bobby. He's always been a plonker, and that's insulted Bobby. It is. Yesterday's match was about Jonas allowing the players to play. Yes, just allowed them to play yesterday. It was beautiful to watch. Our women's team have a cracking chance to win the league. Yes, they do. Brilliant to see almost 60,000 in attendance too. Yeah, it's beautiful. Beautiful day. Eugene saying here, Ben White at times he is too casual. He should do better. The goals against Newcastle, Aston Villa, Luton, Tottenham, etc. The guy just fails to close down the opponent. We are looking at a right full back. Think about that, and you'll see what might be happening at some point. But we are looking at a right full back at the moment. There's no shock because his name's in the press. That is the person we're looking at. So yeah, we'll wait and see if that happens. Let's talk about building another stadium for the women. Please don't. The big matches are against Chelsea, City, United, and Spuds. The rest of the time, they won't get the crowds. I know Brighton are doing this, which I don't agree with personally. I think it's stupid. You should just play in the stadium. There's no need for another stadium. There is no need. We're playing our North London derby this weekend in the Tottenham Stadium because you should be. I have no issue with what we were doing at Meadow Park, but we have slowly started playing at the Emirates. We've now got like 5 games there at the season. It will only get bigger and bigger. And we only play, we only play 11 home games anyway. It's not a lot. Because I know this weekend it's Man U Liverpool in the men's, and it's Liverpool Man U in the women's this weekend. So they are managed. They can do it. It's achievable. So yeah, I'm putting Russo and McCabe in against PSV. To be fair, I think McCabe has a really good chance of playing in our team because she is so good.
Feathers, that's for sure.
Oh shit! Honestly, I don't know if you saw. I think it was against Lawrence. I think it was, and I thought it was going out for a corner to Chelsea. She didn't give it up. Not only did she not give it up, she also just won the ball back from the so-called world-class player. I just love her. She's just awesome. She's so fun to watch. The snowflakes are out already. I've rattled loads of people by me talking the truth, which I was doing my own. Mate, never change the way you are, Chris. You're not rude with the way you are, so don't change. Honestly, I love hearing your stuff.
I wouldn't have thought he was a Liverpool fan, to be honest.
He's just so honest about everything. You're never rude, and that's the main thing. Tony, I've starred your team. There are 16 squads today, so yours might match up with one of them. Play nursery kids versus PSV. They could be doing the same, to be fair. Sorry, please put Russo in instead of Trossard. Okay. VR, if I made a comparison, it's like putting Stevie Wonder in every car would be the best officials to cast. Yes, I do get what you're saying there. Luke, there's always been incompetence in our game, 100%. Saudi spend money on everything. Maybe that's an issue. I'd rather just scrap it because they can't use it correctly anyway, Tony Fulbrook. I think we need it. I just think the officials need to improve on it. Romero is headless chicken. If there was car crash, he was driving the car that crashed. Oh dear. Yes, the Villa. Do not touch Tony. Brentford have scored more than when he doesn't play. Party is busy with doing great jobs at NHS bed models. Learn from Raya playing for Brentford is an Arsenal. I forgot about Thiago at Liverpool. No joke. We can't sell Eddie. Oh, yes, we can. Yes, we can. Thank you, Luke. I knew someone will remember the it was against my Houston Texans. Oh, that just reminds me how bad my quarterback did yesterday. Thank you for that. Professional footballers complaining about Win getting the bin. They are snobby, seriously, when they get VIP treatment, getting nails clipped. Yeah, there we go. I agree with Eugene. White has been poor defensively this season. He has. There's no way that he's getting better going forward, but defensively he's getting worse, if I'm honest. Anyway, let's talk about the game now. So we are playing PSV tomorrow night. It's a 5:45 kickoff. I won't be able to do the watch along, but I will be around to do the live match reaction. Right, so PSV's league form is ridiculous. They are currently first. They've won 15 out of 15. They scored an average goals of 3.5. Average goals conceded is 0.4. They've got 10 clean sheets in all of those games. And their chances created is 5.5. It is ridiculous. And I'm not going to agree with it's such a weak league. It's not a weak league. They're quality players. That's why we all buy players from that league. Like Timber was actually in that league. But it's not something that scares me because it is PSV. Let's move on to Arsenal. We're second now. 111, drawn 3, lost 2. Average goals scored is 2.06. Average goals conceded is 0.94. Six clean sheets, and it's getting closer to 2. It's now 1.81 chances created. Yes, I'm happy about that. Injury list. We don't need to worry about this for the challenge due to the fact it's a retro special today. But Teze is out for PSV. Bella Kotchap is a doubt, and Lang is a doubt. He's match fitness. So it's not an injury, it's more match fitness for Noah Lang. Arsenal, Timber's still out. Smith Rowe, Fabio Vieira, and Tomiyasu are all out. That may change. Obviously, we haven't had the injury list today because obviously we're doing an early stream. So it may change. We never know. But yeah, so what have you seen of PSV this season, Tony, other than our game? obviously.
I'll be honest, I haven't seen a great deal, if I'm completely
Oh,
honest.
okay, fair enough.
But look, I mean, those numbers speak for itself, don't it? And
Yeah,
it is quite a competitive league, the Eredivisie. Feyenoord won it last year. Ajax are always there. PSV, and it does tend to be between those three usually, yeah. But one thing I have noticed about the Dutch league is that they're not shy of goals usually.
no,
So even the league below, you see a lot more goals in that one as well. So yeah,
yeah,
it's the problem is this game is such a nothing game.
yes,
I'm not
for both
concerned
teams as
about
well.
anything. I'm not,
Mm,
I'm not concerned about anything. We could lose 5-0 tomorrow, and we're all concentrated about Brighton in the weekend. So
yeah.
um, yeah, that's just where we are at the moment. We finished first, they finished second.
Uh, right, there's some weird stuff going on in the comments. Sorry, mate. But Ajax have had a big turn down in their season. They've been awful this season. This is my team, so it's hurting me more than most people. But yeah, so it is literally just Feyenoord and PSV this season, which is probably why they have had the 15 wins out of 15. I agree with Eugene. Morning, Brenny. Hope you're doing well. I know that there is a interesting other person in the comments at the moment. White wouldn't get in if Tommy is fit. To be honest, if Tommy was fit, I don't think Zinni would get in. That's what I think. Janjua, I'm going to just try and say your surname every time. Big up to you. Morning, lads. Brenny says hi. He's also thinking of becoming a hammer like his old man. And this is what's happening. Tabs, I'm sat opposite you, cheeky. They obviously work together at the Friends as well. So this is what Tabs is so full of. Big up to you two. Right, let's get into these squads because there are 16 of them. So that it's going to take a while. We will start with Tony's, though. Right, so Tony, this is your team. And what I will say is what I've heard, and I do hear this from quite a very close source to the actual team, is Waters will start tomorrow. That is 100% close to being confirmed. Is Waters will start tomorrow. He's running down. He's not running down his contract. His contract runs out next summer, and we believe the best way of getting him to sign a contract is actually showing him some faith. So I think Waters will actually start tomorrow. So Tony, you went for Ramsdale, Waters, Saliba, Kivior, Sousa, Elneny, Jorginho, Havertz, Koji Dubry, Trossard, and Nketiah. Your reasoning behind this?
Look, I think a lot of us do want to see some of the youth get an opportunity, and I don't think there's any bigger opportunity than what we got tomorrow. Like I said, it's a bit of a throwaway game, but at the same time, you want to throw it in the fringe and some of the starters as well.
Yeah.
I think you need to. It's important to do that. It helps for their experience and their development too. So look, you could put Saliba or Gabriel. I would like one of them two to start because I just don't think we have a lot at centre back really for me. So it was either Saliba or Gabriel or Kivior. I went with Saliba because I thought Saliba had a bit of a shaky game on Saturday for me. I thought it was probably one of his worst performances in an
Yeah.
Arsenal. So I think it would probably do his confidence the world of good. Obviously Ramsdale for obvious reasons. Walters, like you mentioned Walters, and you said that the word is that he might actually get a start, and he has been selected for the bench a few times, and I don't want to see Cedric. I'm like you, he should be nowhere near the team. You know he's going to be, but if you're saying that he's going to start, gives me a bit of confidence that we won't see Cedric on the pitch tomorrow.
Yeah.
Sousa again was shy at left back. You can put Kivior there, obviously, but again it's our centre back situation. So I thought, why not give Sousa a chance? Zinchenko, just give him a rest. I went with Elneny just because he hasn't really played, and he's got Jorginho and Havertz with him. I think them two together can do a job in midfield. We all want to see Koji Dubry, and I agree with you. You see traits of Saka, if not maybe better, and he needs to be showcased. He hasn't had
Yeah.
a first team start. I know Saka Junior hasn't. Maybe Arteta probably prefers him more. I don't know. I don't know why. But like you said, this is my team, so I would go with Dubry on Trossard just because of the fact that he doesn't get as many minutes as Martinelli, so we need to get him on the pitch. And well, as for striker, it's one of the two, Jesus and Nketiah, and you want to keep Jesus fit. And he looked a little bit troubled at times on Saturday, so I think he needs a rest. So I've gone with Nketiah up front. That's my reasoning.
Right.
My team.
Okay. What are you going to give it as a rating?
I'll just give it I'll give it a 7 if it wasn't mine, but because it's mine, I'll give it an 8.
No, fair enough. Fair enough. You're listening not a 10. It's fine.
I think we're going to get a lot of these 7s and 8s. I think with these teams because it is, like I say, it's a throwaway game, and we all want to see certain players play. And I'm not going to question anybody's selections because
I will. I will.
Well, we'll see how we go. Anyway, we'll see how we go.
I'll be honest. Someone sent me one. Obviously, I know most of these people that actually send it, and he sent me his, and I says, "I've known you for 15 years. Because of this team you've given me, I'm now not speaking to you for 15 days." That's how bad his lineup is. So yeah, you'll notice it when you come to it. Big up to Carlos. This is Carlos's team. He's gone for Hein in goal, White, Kivior, Gabriel, Sousa, Jorginho, Rice, Nwaneri, Koji Dubry, Trossard, and Jesus. And I do know why people have been going with Nwaneri. It's because he got 5 the other day in a game. So yeah. So what are we going to give Carlos's team, please?
I want to mention Hein on this one, and I'm not against it. I'm not against it at all. I know you have your feelings towards Hein, but let's just say if Ramsdale does go in January, we need Hein to be ready, and we need to give him some chances. And I'm not against it, Carlos. Not at all. I do like the midfield. The midfield is nice. Jorginho, Rice, Nwaneri. That's a midfield I wouldn't be against seeing. Yeah, you got the class of Rice there to support your Nwaneris. Jorginho, I just think Jorginho, he's a professional player at the end of the day. He's not flashy. He's not great. He's not bad. His defense, again, you can only pick what we can pick. Maybe White for the confidence. I'm not against that. Saliba, maybe people think Saliba need a break after Saturday, so I'm not against that.
Yep.
And then Jesus up front, I do think he needs a rest because he is a player that just he don't care what the situation is. He doesn't care who we're playing, when we're playing. He just gets stuck in, and he does risk injury every time he plays. Yeah. So maybe a little bit of a risk there, Jesus. But I'm not upset with the front three at all because obviously I've got Koji Dubry and Trossard as well. So I would give this one. I'll give it. It's a solid 7.
Okay, mate. Brilliant stuff. Thank you very much. Let's move on to the next 2. The first one is Jonas, Takahiro, and Tom. They have gone with, I need to find it, Raya, Waters, Saliba, Kivior, Sinchenko, Jorginho, Havertz, Odegaard, Saka, Sago Jr., and Jesus.
Again, I think we need to. We're all about giving Saka a break because he doesn't. He needs it. He needs it. But I'm not upset. We're going to see lots of different teams, Bobby. And I think with Zinchenko, again, maybe for confidence. I don't know. Work on his game. Kivior, Saliba, no problem. Waters, no problem. Raya, I would probably give him a break because he's again, it could be a confidence thing. You don't know why these people are picking these people without actually speaking to him. So again, I mentioned Jesus. Again, it's going to be a 7, Bobby. I'm going to give him a 7.
Okay, thank you very much, mate. Let's move on to AO and TJ's. They've gone for Ramsdale, White, Kivior, Gabriel, Sousa, Jorginho, Rice, Nwaneri, Koji Dubry, Trossard, and then Nketiah.
Yeah, no, I got no concerns with that 7. I've spoken about the other players and the other lineups, and
right. Let's move on to Patrick, Jordan, Nicholas, Mohammed, and Sam. They've gone for this team: Ramsdale, Waters, Saliba, Kivior, Cini, Jorginho, Havertz, Odegaard, Jesus on the right, Martinelli, and Nketiah.
I have a slight problem with Martinelli, same with Jesus, really. Martinelli he looks in a bit of pain on Saturday.
Yeah.
Well, I think he does need a rest, but other than that, no complaints. I'll give it a 7 because it's still a good team.
Okay, let's move on to Barry, Liam, and Stewart's. This is Ramsdale, White, Kivior, Gabriel, Sousa, Lewis, Kelly, Havertz, Odegaard, Koji Dubry, Trossard, and Keon Edwards up front.
Now this includes 2 players I wouldn't mind having a look at with the first team. Lewis Skelly, I think he's a very impressive player, and Edwards up front. Again, because we are light up front, maybe don't want to risk Jesus because he can pick up an injury any time. Maybe want to give Nketiah. No one really trusts Nketiah away from home. That's the problem with some people. So I just think Edwards, as much as I'd like to see him, I don't think he's quite ready to go into the first team, if I'm honest. Whereas I think Lewis Skelly could be. So I'll give them that. Odegaard, yeah, maybe a confidence thing after what we've seen from him in the weekend. So I'll give that a 7 as well. I think there's gonna be a lot of 7s, Bobby, if I'm honest.
Yeah, no worries, mate. Right, let's move on to Mehmet and Ben's. Ramsdale, Walter, Saliba, Gabriel, Sousa, Jorginho, Rice, Havertz, Saka, Martinelli, and Obi Martin.
Well, now I was waiting for an Obi Martin to appear somewhere. I was, and I've even flirted with the idea, but I just think just purely because of how young he is, and away at a usually intimidating stadium, might be a bit too much for the kid. He's still very, very young. Obi Martin, you'd want to see him maybe at a cup game at home. I think that's the ideal debut for him. Not saying that he wouldn't be able to do anything because we've seen what he's done at his level. It's just it's levels above. See Saka again. And Martinelli. These 2 need a break. They do need a break. And obviously, I mentioned Martinelli. He looked hurt on Saturday, so I just wouldn't risk it. I will give it a 6. I'll give it a 6.
Okay, mate. Cheers. Let's move on to John Florence and Kelly's. This is Raya, Waters, Kivior, Gabriel, Sinchenko, Elneny, Rice, Havertz, Saka, Martinelli, and Jesus.
Quite a strong lineup, that one. Probably the strongest we've seen. But again, it's the Martinelli Jesus thing for me. I haven't played them in this game at all. That's just me. Because of their strength, and they obviously want to win this game, and obviously we always want to see our team win. I'll give them a 7 for it.
Okay, great stuff. Thank you very much. Let's move on to the next 2. The first one is the person I'm not speaking to. Not even going to say his name for 15 days. Ramsdale, the person I'm not going to mention. Saliba, Kivior, Cini,
5, move on.
5?
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I'm going to give it a 4.
It's quite no. The thing is, Bobby, it's quite a strong team, but Cedric, no, just no. I don't want to see him. He's not part. He's not part of future plans as well. If there's any game he's going to play, this will be it. That's it. It would be his only game for Arsenal this season.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to Matt, Tim, and James H. Ramsdale, Walter, Saliba, Kivior, Sinchenko, Jorginho, Havertz, Odegaard, Saka, Martinelli, and Jesus is such a strong team, this one.
I just want to quickly say, Richard, no disrespect or anything. I don't know you, so I can't get away with it. I apologize. When it comes to Cedric, I'm with Bobby, all right? But I appreciate that.
He knows how much I hate him as well. That's the thing. I don't know what he's done.
I don't know, Richard, and I appreciate the time, Richard. So thank you. Thanks for your evening. Appreciate it big time. Right, Matt, Tim, and James. Yeah, again, see, it's the front 3 for me. I'm not ready for them to play.
No, fair enough.
6. 6.
Okay, brilliant stuff. Let's move on to the next 2. Anthony and Andrew. Ramsdale, White, Kivior, Gabriel, Cini, Jorginho, Havertz, Odegaard, Koji Dubry, Martinelli, and Nketiah.
Yeah, do you know, I'll probably give that one an 8. I just wouldn't start Martinelli again. Just
No, that's fair enough.
got Martinelli for Trossard. And
Yep.
one of the best teams I've seen.
Let's move on to Tristan, Romans, and Sena. Raya, Walter, Saliba, Kivior, Cini, El Neni, Havertz, Odegaard, Saka, Sago Jr., and Jesus.
I'm just going to go straight for score 7.
7. Awesome stuff. Right, we're nearly there. Albert, Jack, and Karen. They've gone for Ramsdale, Walter, Saliba, Gabriel, Kivior, Jorginho, Rice, Havertz, Jesus on the right, Martinelli, and Obi Martin again.
I mean, the amount of first teamers in there, it's quite a scary thought. Obviously, put Walters and Obi Martin in there. Again, I mentioned Obi Martin. 6, because I think there's just too many first teamers in there.
No, that's fair enough. Let's move on to
consider what we're coming up after. We're coming up.
Yeah, let's move on to Luke's. He's gone with Ramsdale, Sweet, Waters, Kivior, Sousa, El Nani, Lewis, Skelly, Nwaneri, Koji Dubry, Sago Jr., and Nketiah.
So I see he's got Walters in centre back there. Yeah, it's a risky one, but I know why Luke's done it. I know why he's done it. I know how big he is on the youth. I know how big he is. So I'm not gonna lay into him too much. I just think there's just too much going on there. You need to have like a solid mix of youth, fringe, and first team. But like I said, I know it's a throwaway game. I know he likes the youngsters. I know he wants to see them play, see what they can do. It's a bit of a scouting thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Scouting mission tomorrow.
Bobby, I'm sorry, Luke. I know what you're doing. I know how you think, but I'm giving this a 6 just because that's my opinion.
No, that's fair enough. Let's move on to the final two. Brenny and Brezzy. Brezzy just about managed to say that he chose this one just in time for me to put your name on it. Ramsdale, Walters, Kivior, Gabriel, Sousa, El Nani, Jorginho, Odegaard, Koji Dubry, Sago Jr., and Nketiah.
No, I like this team. I do like this team. Yeah, no, I mean, look, I've spoken about each of these players.
Yeah.
Sago going on the left?
Yes.
So yeah, no. Do you know what? That's another one of those good teams. I'm going 8. I'm going 8. And okay. I should. Brenny's usually mean to me, but I'm fair.
Let's move on to Canners. He was very lucky. He just got his team in just in time. I had time just to type it up.
I'm very impressed with him.
I know. I just had time. I was like, he typed it. I was like, oh, geez, I've just got time to do it. Ramsdale, Walters, Kivior, Gabriel, Sinchenko, Jorginho, Trossard, Odegaard, Koji Dubry, Nelson, and Nketiah. It kind of says everything that this is the only team that's got Nelson in it. Kind of says.
And I was about to say that I'm very surprised. This is the first time we have seen Nelson, and I don't think what the funny thing is, because obviously I left him out too, but I don't think he's put a foot wrong when he's come on this season. Honestly,
he hasn't done much right though. That's the
he hasn't done. No, he hasn't. He hasn't. But you got to consider the times that he's been thrown on.
Yeah, but they are the times that you need to shine. If you don't shine, I personally think he's one of the ones that will be sold in January. If not, he'll definitely be sold next summer. So maybe that is.
Well, Bobby, the only other time he started that I can remember was against Brentford in the EFL Cup, and he scored early on there. So, I get this lineup. I understand it. I'm not against it. And again, there's a nice balance there for me, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because it's Canners. If you did put Canners' name there, I probably would have scored it fairly. No, I will. Canners, you know why. I'm gonna give it an 8 as well. These two are 8.
Okay, cool. Thank you very much.
Right. The thing is, for me, these teams are really hard to score, just simply because it is a throwaway game.
Yeah, it is. It is.
So I
Right.
weren't going to give really harsh scores, and I weren't going to give really, really good scores.
Yeah, I get it, mate. Don't worry.
And you don't know what sort of team PSV are going to field.
No, well, this is the thing. When I had about a 2.5 hour conversation with them last night. Obviously, we had to do the challenge, so part of that as well. But they weren't even sure. And these are like different hierarchies within PSV, and they were like, "We don't even know, if they're going to go strong, if they're going to go weak, if they're going to rotate it, or just mix and blend. They don't know because it means nothing to them as well. It is the most craziest game I've ever seen. It means nothing to either of us, but we both have to play it. It's one of those.
That's what it is.
Bobby, are Arsenal saying our youth players are thick and can't work out why they're playing because their contract is running out to get them to sign? No, Arteta does speak to Mehmet. He speaks to Jack. There is a news story that I don't know if anyone's spoken about. I don't think Tony's even shared it, actually. So he's probably not read it yet. But there is talk that Dennis Bergkamp is meant to be coming.
I saw that just before come on. I did see that.
What I will say, now, I agree with part of the headline. It's not Mikel Arteta, right? I hate this. Mikel Arteta's approached Dennis. No, it's not. There is someone else that has approached Dennis Bergkamp. Dennis Bergkamp is interested in coming to Arsenal. It probably will happen, and I will be the first one to have a party about it due to the fact he is my second favourite Arsenal player. And if for any crazy reason you might see a Dennis on any of these team sheets, it's a coincidence. I'm just saying. But yeah, I will be delighted.
Yeah, okay.
Honestly, I'll love it if he goes back to Arsenal. I really would. But yeah, it's possibly. But what I would say is, I do think they've got a chance. I honestly do think we've got about 6 players in our youth academy, which actually saves us from signing 6 players in the future. I don't know when they'll come in, and that's a good thing for us because it saves us money, which means we can spend bigger on someone else, which for me is a great thing, which is what we've done. If you think about it, when we brought Dennis Bergkamp, I think that's what we were doing at the time. We spent big on Dennis Bergkamp because we were raising other players from our youth. That's how you do it. And that's how Arsenal have always done it. And I'm proud of the way that we do it. We're not a Chelsea. We don't buy out 22 players, get them all to try and fix together because they give chances.
More in January, Chelsea.
Yes, they will be. They're spending a ridiculous amount in January. I'm attached to a lot of the clubs, and I know how much Chelsea are planning. It's mental, but it is what it is. Right. Oh, hang on. The silver one, a 10, as I don't have favourites.
Usually, a certain German giraffe,
Yeah. Usually saying I feel 80% of that team played against Aston Villa should start tomorrow to help them get back to the winning mentality before the Brighton game. I do get where people are coming from this, but I also think it's the perfect opportunity to give some of our youth a chance. Now, if you're saying 80% of the team, you could probably put 80% of the team and give 3 chances to our youth. And put Lewis Skelly in, put Nwaneri in, put Will Walters for me is important. Koji Dubru, we've got to give them a chance. We've got to.
Is, though, probably, I respect this opinion and I understand why people would say it.
Yeah,
simple.
But you can still put 80% of the team and still put those 3 youngsters in. That's what I'm saying. You could put the whole first team that started against Aston Villa, take 3 of them out that you want to rest, like Saka, you were saying Martinelli, and maybe what other player would you take out, like a Sleeper or something like that?
Yes, yeah.
So there you go. You got takes out Sleeper, put Raw Walters in. There, that's sorted. Put Koji Dubru on the right, or Nwaneri on the right, because Nwaneri can also play on the right wing, just so everyone's fully aware of, and put Sago Jr. on the left. There's your 3 youth. I'll be very happy with that. And we've got a good first team as well in there. Play Raya so I can
understand why you say that, mate. I do understand why you say that.
Yeah. Play Raya so I can give him a 0 again. Yeah, I get the people don't like Raya. Youth players won't be ready if not given a chance. The rubber is dead. Experience counts. Yeah, 100%. Endo over Lavia and Casido. Thank you, Chelsea. Endo was I thought it was a very interesting signing. I've known about him for many years, obviously Bundesliga, but yeah, it's mad that Liverpool have such a great scouting system where they can actually go out and get him for cheap, and then Lavia and Caicedo cost what?
Endo is one of those Klopp signings, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. He's a no frills signing. Like,
yeah,
he's RL Nenny, without being too hard, because he's going to do exactly what he says on the tin.
yeah.
And
No, I think
to be fair, there's nothing wrong with that sometimes. If you don't let my team win, you could be in sixes. I'll get onto your team in a minute. PSV will be playing their youngsters too, I think. I'll be honest, even PSV don't know what they're doing. Bobby Parting, that'd be a sight. I honestly, I will be so delighted if Bergkamp does officially join us. I would still take Caicedo.
now,
The
Bobby,
Caicedo that was at Brighton, yes. The Caicedo at Chelsea, no.
Bobby, you've seen me during the summer. I was not high on this guy whatsoever. I don't know what people were seeing. I don't know what people were seeing. And now,
Yeah.
I hate. Oh, no, I don't hate to say it, but I told you so.
Yeah. Look, it is what it is. They
He
way
had
overpaid for Caicedo.
one decent season. No one was talking to him when he was playing for, who was it, Beershot or whatever. No one was talking about him then, and that was like the year before. So
yeah,
we got too hyped up because he played for Brighton.
yeah. It's that Southampton situation. Remember when everyone was trying to sign players from Southampton? Not everyone worked. We signed Chambers, didn't really work. Let's be honest.
And to be fair to Lavia, he hasn't really played much, so we can't really say much about Lavia.
I still think Lavia is quality.
I like Lavia. I was always Lavia over Caicedo anyway. So
right, let's score Tony's. Be prepared, because I've just seen it. I've just looked at it now. Right, so Tony's team is Ramsdale, Waters, Saliba, Kevior, McCabe, Jorginho, Nwaneri, Odegaard, Havertz, Nelson, and Trossard. Now, I'm gonna let Tony score, but I will score it as well. Being
see now, so Tony, you've just done yourself no favours because I've just seen the comment that's pops up in the corner. So you're getting a 5. You're getting a 5. I'm not changing my mind.
So Tony, you get a 5. I will be honest. Katie McCabe at left back. I'd have it. I'd take it, to be honest. I think she's brilliant.
You take her over Zinni. You know she'll defend better.
Yeah, exactly. She's a brilliant defender. And the thing is, that is not her strongest attribute. She's a stronger winger. But she's brilliant at left back. Steph Catley, I take her at left back right now because she's absolutely incredible as well. But honestly, yesterday's performance is going to make me smile all week, thankfully, because I need it. So yeah,
I'll give you an 8, mate. All right, I'll give you an 8.
There you go. So there you go, Tony Fulbrook. You've got an 8 from the silver one. Right, challenge time, and it is tricky. I'll be honest, it is tricky. Okay, so these are the teams. It is a team chosen by the 2002 0-0 draw that we had at the Emirates. Was it at the Emirates or was it Highbury? Highbury, wasn't it? 2002.
I was getting worried, Bobby, because I thought watching that video, I thought you were going to making me sing the Bee Gees or something. I was getting concerned.
Look, these are the team sheets. Now, I'm going to have to go to the other screen, so I'm not going to be able to help Tony, but these are the team sheets. So that's PSV on the left, Arsenal's on the right. Yes, that is Arsenal's. Shaban, Luzhny, Stefanos, Sigan. Sorry, mate. I had great fun. Right, and there is a new rule. There is a new rule because it's something that happened yesterday, and I enjoyed his pain. So I'm sticking with it. Once you choose a player, that player has been chosen. So don't just randomly say names. Once you choose a player, you're stuck with it. I do have the list of where that player can play. So don't worry too much because like Romadale, he can play in about 5 different positions.
No wonder I Luke Bale today because he was going to join me today. I was going to help.
Right, so I need to go to the other screen, so bear with me for a minute, guys. Right, so we're going to start with the PSV players. So out of that, and you can obviously you can choose a sub, so that's fine. What first PSV player are you going to choose?
Well, you're going to have to start with Van Bommel.
Okay, he can play in defensive. And by the way, is going to be a formation of the 4-2-3-1. So we're spicing it up a little bit. We're using PSV's formation that they use now to create this team. So it's going to be a bit of fun because obviously this was played 20 years ago.
So obviously, he's in the 2 then.
Yeah, he's going to be at the back. I'll obviously show you it once it's created, but I'm busy on the other screen typing it up. Right, so your next PSV player, please.
Well, I'll be honest, because there's no way I'm putting Shaban or Taylor in.
You can tell by that evil laugh that someone accidentally has had to pick one of those players.
So you're gonna put the goalkeeper in.
Okay.
There's, and I'm pretty sure that you'd be pressing the button if I said one of those two.
I don't know what you're on about.
Oh no! Oh, you know exactly what. You know exactly. Anyway, moving on.
So you're going to go with Water Russ or 10 Rivela? Rivela? I think that's how you say his name.
Well, he kept a clean sheet in that game, didn't he?
So you're going to have Water Russ. Okay.
Yeah,
0-0 this one. Okay, so your third PSV player, please.
You got to put Robin in, didn't you?
Right, we can only put him on the right wing.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
Yeah,
that's absolutely fine.
Your next player, please.
I'm just trying to look at their bench.
If you need help to where they played, or if you need reminding who they were, I have got the list of their positions. So, like Lucius, who's on the bench, he can play right back, centre back, defensive midfielder. Ramsey can play right, left, and attacking midfield. Heinz was actually a very good player. Plays left back. Ernest Faber, he's now a manager at a Dutch club now. There's a couple of these that are managers now. Van Bommel's a manager as well now.
So, this is where it gets kind of tough because I did like Kesman and I did like Venegor Vesselink as well. But you know who I'm saving that spot for?
Yes, I know.
Yeah, Jeffers. But no, it's not Jeffers. Let's put Romadal in.
Okay, right. Romadal can play left, attacking midfielder, and striker. So it's up to you where you want to put him.
Attacking midfielder.
Okay.
And I think you already know why.
Well, we'll get onto this because I'm the one scoring it, and I'm not going to say any comments until that. But big up to Canners. I know Canners is in the chat. Oh my God, didn't realise Robin was there then. That's a decent PSV team. Yeah, to be fair, the PSV team's actually quite decent, and Hoffland for sure. So your final player, please, Tony.
It's one of the defensive players. I'm trying to figure out who. Especially with you, Bobby.
I don't know what you people are all about. I'm lovely.
I'm afraid to say any of them, to be honest.
There are some players in that PSV lineup and the Arsenal lineup that I like defensively. So there's not many that I would go autofan.
Do you know what? Ooh, hang on. I'm just looking at the Arsenal team quickly. Let's go Bogeland.
You going who? Oh, Bogeland. Yeah, got you. Yeah. That's a right back, just so you know.
Yeah, and you know why I did that.
Okay, right. So we're going to go with the Arsenal. We'll start with the strikers. That's obviously Henry.
Yeah, not the other one.
Yeah. So on the left, who are you having on the left?
Bobby.
Sorry, that confuses me when you say that. Pires, you're obviously on about. Yeah. It's very weird that I hear my name being mentioned at all. So when you say my name, like what? Right. Okay, so the other defensive midfielder, there's obviously a few to choose from, so I'm not going to assume who are you going to pick here. So who are you picking?
I'd be like tempted to pick Joe Barry just because he scored that fastest goal ever against PSV.
Okay.
But I have to put Vieira in there, don't I? I have to. It has to be
Okay.
Vieira.
Okay, so the left back for Arsenal, who are you having?
Oh, Cole.
Okay. Right, your centre backs. Who are you having?
Yeah, I've done myself over here.
Yep. Just
I've
saying.
really done myself. Oh my god.
Yep. I'll get on to why else you've done yourself in, but we'll get onto that in a minute.
Toure.
Yeah, Colo Toure. Okay. So
Here we
you've
go.
either got to have Sigan, Stefanos, and I can't remember who else was playing.
And this is why you're evil. That's why you said you were going to. Yeah. I listen. I thought this through. I thought, you know what? I got this, and then because maybe I should have just went with Luciani, shouldn't I? Oh wow.
I've got a funny story to tell you about Luciani because Luciani obviously played for Wolves for a while, and the amount of times I met him in the local chippy was immense, and he was still playing for Wolves at the time. He probably went to a fish and chip shop at least once a week. So good, mad. Such a bloke. Nice, really nice bloke as well. The amount of times I saw like Wolves fans stopping him for his autograph and photo was immense, and he always did it. So big up to Oleg Luciani, an absolute gentleman.
Bobby, just tell me I've voted fail already. I don't need to pick any of them, do I?
You got to pick someone.
Well, I thought I failed. I've done myself in.
Well, who are you picking? Sigan? Stefanos? You even got Tavlaridis there. I'll be honest, there's only one centre back you can pick that saves you at the moment.
The Greek destroyer. Yeah.
So which one are you picking? Stefanos, Sigan, or Tavlaridis?
I don't know. I'm trying to read you first. You said there's one.
There's only one that can save you, yeah.
And I don't want to auto fail. What a way to probably potentially end my final stream of the year. Wow. Right, okay, I'm just going for it. I'm going to go because you kind of look like him a little bit. Stefanos.
You're going for Stefanos. Okay.
Just because he might be your twin.
Right.
Because you said the same good looks, Bobby. I thought maybe that might not be the auto fail, you know.
Okay. Well, we got to share the screen first before we go into if he's auto failed anyway. So there is the team. This is the Silver Ones team. So he's gone for Waterhouse, Bogeland, Toure, Stefanos, Cole, Van Bommel, Vieira, Robben, Romadal, Perez, and Henri. Now, there's only one thing I got to do now. What on earth is Stefanos doing anywhere near that?
Now, listen, there's only one reason that, apart from the fact that you're his twin brother, there was another reason why I picked Stefanos. If Callus is still watching, private joke.
Oh, okay. No, it was Sigan that would have saved you.
I'll explain to you after.
Okay, mate. It's obviously something that cannot be aired.
No. But if Canners is still watching, he knows why.
Yeah, Canners, big up to Canners that was in the chat whilst I was doing it. Sorry, I'm on a different screen, so I can't really share the screen, share the comments. Oh my god, didn't realise Bobbin was. Yeah, exactly. Hoffland, yeah, Hoffland. I'm surprised the silver one didn't go there, if I'm honest, but there we go. Yeah, Hoffland was decent. Auto foul, unfortunately, yes, auto failed. The silver one, don't pick Cole. I'll be honest. I've got a long story about Ashley Cole. I don't like him for a certain reason. He saved himself because he was an Arsenal player. Literally, that's it. But if I felt like being really mean, he would be an auto fail. but he's not. There's a reason. His name took my great grandfather's name off a record, and then he went to Chelsea. So yeah, I have personal issues with Ashley Cole, and he knows it anyway because I've told him. At least we got to see. behave, people. Right. So obviously the silver one is not going to win. Clearly, because he's an auto foul. Right.
That was a very mean game to choose, though, Bobby. Very mean. I was hoping it'd be the other one.
Well, everyone wanted it to be the other one, but Shaban and Taylor.
That defense was shocking. I don't know how we managed to keep a clean sheet.
Right. So,
go on. I'm gone.
He's upset now, bless him. Right. So we've got Ingrid against Klaas now. I'll be honest, Klaas, you failed, mate. I love the fact that he did his team and then he realised, with the goalkeeper, he left the goalkeeper to the last. And then he went, And I went, you already know, don't you? Yeah, I know.
No, but to be fair, you really had to think with this challenge. Like this has been one of the hardest challenges I've seen you do, Bobby.
Well, there's going to be obviously we're playing Liverpool in a couple of weeks, and we're playing Liverpool again early January. So you know what's coming with the retro challenge in January, people. So prepare yourselves. I will be picking an Arsenal-Liverpool game from something that I've physically seen. So anything after 1984, I've seen. So yes, I will be picking.
Is it the League Cup? 5-3 or whatever it was.
Let me decide. I haven't chosen yet, but I will decide.
There's plenty to choose from, though, to be fair.
So, and I'm looking forward to that because it is going to be fun. Right. So Ingrid wins anyway. However, I do want to talk about a team because she's done a very, very good job. Waterhouse in goal. Oya, Hoffland, Boomer, Van Bronckhorst. Decent enough defence for me. She's gone with Robin, Gilberto Vieira, Perez, Bergkamp, and Henri. Now, this is my other issue with me, Mr. Silver One, is how on earth did you not pick Bergkamp?
Yeah,
you could have had one of the defenders from PSV.
I overthink that. I think that's
because you got Boomer was a great defender.
When you're put on the spot and you've got the eyes on you, it's now I would probably, if I was in the chat, I probably would have done better than what I'd done then, if I'm honest. It's like when you play Connect 4, and when you make that stupid move and you've gone, why have you done that? By the way, that's a 9.
Yeah, Ingrid's was fantastic. When she gave it to me last night, I was like, the silver one's got one heck of a challenge tomorrow to even beat that, because I don't want to like mention how, but she's of an older generation, right? And she's managed to do that, and I was well impressed. I was like, wow, probably one of the best teams I've ever been given on the retro challenge, because the retro is so hard. Because I choose a specific game. It's not ever going to be an easy game. I know Tony, look, a lot of people have, because everyone knows I'm going to do the retro challenge, right? The people that I speak to. And they are voting for the 1989 game. I'm tempted to do it. I'm tempted because it would be interesting.
Brenny's got to do that. That's one Brenny's got to do.
Yeah, I will try to do a stream where I get Brenny on, because obviously Brenny does work as well. So I'm going to try my best. It is a Sunday game now, I think, the FA Cup, isn't it? So hopefully he's available on Saturday night. If not, I'll try.
Well, shouldn't it be an FA Cup game, really? In truth.
Well, that's up to me. I'm the creator of this horrendous challenge, as some people call it. I'm tempted. There's so many games to choose from as well, and I'm going to have great fun choosing the game. But
you certainly had fun picking this one, that's for sure.
As soon as I saw Rami Shaban in goal, I was like, "Yep, that's the one. Thank you."
the thing is, Bobby, right? I look at that, and my mind is blown in different areas. Like Jeffers ahead of Bergkamp, and we got a clean sheet with that defence and goalkeeper against that very good PSV team. It just blows my mind.
I know it does. Yeah. Right. predictions for tomorrow. I know this is weird, so I expect some weird predictions for this game because it means nothing. It means nothing. PSV could go full strength. Arsenal could go total youth and absolutely get annihilated. But on the other hand, they could go full youth. We could go fully strong. We could annihilate them. So this is going to be an interesting one. So what are you going to go with prediction wise?
I don't know, 5-5.
Jeez. It'll take me forever to write up the scoreline, that's for certain. Jesus.
Well,
5-5.
like you said, like this is a game you can't predict. There's no point predicting. At the same time, I all I want to look for tomorrow night, because let's have it right, we're gonna watch it. We're Arsenal fans.
Yeah, I will be.
I just want to see certain performances. That are we individual, team, manager. I'm just gonna look at all of them. Whatever the score is the score, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I agree, mate. Look, the fact is, I've got a Christmas meeting tomorrow, and on one of the screens, because I do it on Zoom, will be the game. They'll all be watching it. They'll all be forced to watch that game with me because I'm not missing it for nothing. Because I'm looking forward to watching it because I've got a horrible feeling, but I've got a feeling that we will put some youth out. And I want to see him play in an Arsenal shirt. I want to see how happy they are. And Raul Waters, look, from what I've heard, he will get his first chance. I think he might be the only one, from what I've heard. I'll be happy with it, though, because I've been saying we've got to give him a chance at some point. And if it's just one, it's just one. At least I'll take it. I'll take it. I'm one of those that's okay with that. Tony's saying PSV 2-0. I've written it down, but I'll be honest, I haven't got a clue. I'm going to go with 4-1 to PSV because I don't know what anyone's going to do. I don't know if PSV will go strong. I don't know if, our fringe players will be given the chance. A certain right back that I won't mention might play. If he does, he'll get torn apart because he's useless.
If he scored a dream or something.
Mate, I'll celebrate it because I'm an Arsenal fan. But honestly, I'll be very happy when he's no longer on the payslip because I can't stand it. Tony Forbrook saying 1971 FA Cup final. I have to be fair to myself. When I pick the games, I feel that I need to have watched it myself too. So I wasn't even alive then. I wasn't even considered. So 1971 won't be picked, but yes, it would be a great game to do. But I'm not old enough to, and I have to feel that I can be a fair judge. I don't feel like I can just go, oh, let's predict, let's do a challenge for the 1966 World Cup final. It's not fair for me to do it. One, I'm named after one of them, but also I've never seen the game properly, and obviously we've all seen the game.
This is the thing, right? Because you see people like, when they say, "I'll give us your greatest players of all time," and like they get shocked when I don't pick a certain Pele or something. Like,
yeah,
but look. I didn't see him play every week. Like,
no,
yes,
exactly.
there's clips, but there's also clips of Yaya Sanogo.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Now, I'm not saying Pele was a bad player. There's no way I'm not saying.
No.
But what I'm saying is, I'm going to be picking players based on what I've seen.
Yeah.
So, and I know the history of Arsenal. I know what we've won, what players we've had, and all that. But I wasn't there to see it.
No.
I go by what I've seen. So when I do if I do a greatest Arsenal 11, it will be from 1993 onwards.
Yeah, that's when the fairest way of doing it.
Yeah.
I know Charlie George is on one of our things that I use backstage, but that's there for my granddad because that was my granddad's favourite player, and without him, I wouldn't be a big Arsenal fan as I am now. So I am definitely not ageist. I just feel that I need to have watched the game myself and know the players myself. And if I don't know them, I'll be like, yeah, he's decent.
Let's get Tony on it. Come on.
Yeah. Well, exactly. If we get Tony on here, but then have we got anyone to go up against him that has seen that kind of game? Brenny's was born in the late 70s. Canners is not old enough. So I feel I have to be fair. So I'm going to pick a game from a generation where I know the game. Could I pick 80s game? I could put the 89 game because I do know that well enough. I could put 90s, I could put noughties. Who knows? I like to use my sinister mind sometimes,
There's
and I'm
many
sure
many.
I am. Look, everyone knows how evil I am, especially work.
Well, yeah, today's the prime example of that.
Pele and Sanogo in the same sentence. I know it's an interesting thing that we'll never forget for a very long while, that Pele and Sanogo was used in the same
I've got
sentence.
a point. No, I've got a point.
No, he has. Look, I will never say that Pele. Look, I've seen loads of clips of Pele.
Yeah,
working
oh
the
yeah,
field,
undeniable.
but I will never say that Pele is the best player I've ever seen, because I've never seen him. You know, I'm named after someone I've never seen play myself. I happen to know his family, and I've got to see a lot of stuff about Bobby Moore, but I can't say he's one of the greatest players I've ever seen because I've never seen him play. So I feel it's unfair to do like that. So Maradona is up there for me because I have got to see him play. I've got to see. And I know I was young, but I've got a horrible bad memory, unfortunately. So yeah, it's someone I do remember. There's a lot of good great players that I remember over the years. And there you go, Chris Welch, Maradona is my goat. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Pele, I wish I was alive to have watched him live, same as Bobby Moore. But I would also, and I have to say this, and it's not just because I'm an Arsenal fan, I would love to have seen Clef Bastin as well. I would love to have seen him, because what I've heard.
Who mine is, Bobby? Mine's Liam Brady. I would love to see
I know
Liam
a lot of
play.
people is Liam Brady. Yeah.
I just haven't seen him play, and I hear stories, and it makes me want to go back in time and sit a whole season of watching Liam Brady, because I don't disbelieve what people tell me about him.
Yeah,
because you know what I mean. So,
my great grandfather was classed as one of the superstars of his time. And now he's my relative. I can't say he's one of the greatest players ever because I haven't seen him. He's my own relative. I just feel that I can't say it, but it's in books and it's in history books and all this stuff about him that he was the first superstar of football. Yeah, he probably was at the time. I can't say, oh yeah, he was fantastic. There's a TV show you can watch that depicts him, but it's a actor that's playing him. He probably looks decent on the TV show, but that's not actually him playing. So I have to be honest with myself. I always have to be. Obviously, England fans be like, he's a cheater. Look, it happens. What was it? Was it Henry against Ireland? Was it
the against Ireland? Yeah, against Ireland, it was a It was the last. Was it a playoff?
Something like that, wasn't it? Something,
or something like that.
Yeah, these things happen, and at the end of the day, that's down to the referee. It's not the Diego Maradona's fault; he got away with it, but it's the official that should have pulled it up. My living memory of Maradona was him being coach.
Yeah. I think Luke. I think you're a year older than me, so yeah, we're about the same.
Yeah,
time.
obviously, I'm in my early 40s now, so
5 years between us. So yeah.
Yeah, so I have a little bit more of a memory of Diego. I loved him. I thought he was a fantastic to watch. But what they do off the pitch has got nothing to do with me. I don't really care. It's got nothing to do with my decision about if he's a good footballer or not. But yeah, Maradona.
Well, it depends what they do off the pitch, doesn't it? Be careful there. Be careful, Bobby. There are certain things off the pitch.
Well, obviously within the law, a cheat is a boxer. Taking performance drugs, that's a cheat, not a player accidentally handballed it. Yeah, exactly. There's a certain Canadian runner, people that they class him as like one of the best of all time, but I'm pretty sure how many times was he cheating at the time, because he was proven to be cheating. I know they're still fighting the case and stuff, but he was on drugs at the time. So it is what it is. It is what it is. I think even the Great British runners, we had one that was 400-meter run as well, didn't we? What was his name? Derek Redmond or something like that. Do you remember?
I think there's been a couple, isn't there?
Yeah, there's been a few. It is what it is. That's proper cheating. That's a different situation with what Diego Maradona did. Yes, he probably did it on purpose, but it's the official that should have been brought it back. So I have no issues with it personally, and it was against my England as well, so I don't care. Thank you, Tony. Where can people find you, my friend? I know I also have a very good Christmas as well, because you probably won't be doing any streams with me for a while due to family. It's Christmas as well. It's madness. But where can people find you?
Yeah, so if not here, it would be on X, and of course, quite a stir with a certain fan base this weekend, questioning the refereeing decisions in the Crystal Palace Liverpool game. So I've rattled an entire fan base there, so you'll probably see some of that. It is at Silver's segments. But yeah, and hopefully, well, you don't know, you might catch me here at some point over the holidays, but I can't guarantee it. There's a lot going on in this household, so but I'll try my best. If you want to have a chat with me on X, then come on over and have a chat. We'll talk the Arsenal.
There you go. Yeah, and also after the New Year's Eve game, we've got a kind of a winter break anyway, so there won't be that many games. I think there's an FA Cup game for us to play. Other than that, there's not many games. It's 28th, the 31st, the 23rd. There are 3 games that we've got over the Christmas period. Liverpool, West Ham, Fulham are the games that we'll be doing over the Christmas period. There will be watch-longs, guys. That won't be stopping, don't worry. Football comes first in this household, always does. But yeah, it's going to be a nice little winter break for us as well. But there will be, obviously, we'll do the Liverpool Retro Challenge in January, so that's something to look forward to.
I'm looking forward to that, to be honest. I can't wait.
There will be, the news will be coming back in January as well. It won't be as often as it was before the season kicked off, because obviously there was nothing really else to do, because there'll still be games to cover, because I still cover good games. Like this weekend, I'm covering the Viaplay Cup final. That's on Sunday. So there's other games I do as well. So it's not just Arsenal. I do actually do other games. So yeah, guys, trying to think what I'm doing. Tomorrow, match reaction instant. I will be available to do it straight away, no matter what happens. I'll be honest, I hope there's some youth so we can actually talk about, how good they performed tomorrow. If we lose, we lose.
It's about performances, Bobby, tomorrow. That's
Yeah,
what
it
we're
is.
looking at.
That's if we lose 5-0, but the performance was great, then I'm happy. I take a performance over a result every time, especially when it means nothing. This means nothing.
Most Arsenal fans tomorrow won't be fans; they'll be scouts tomorrow. Well, they'll be fans, of course, but mainly we're going to be scouting.
The big game tomorrow is, are they United playing tomorrow?
Yeah, but they're 8 o'clock, aren't they?
Yeah, so that's the big game. So I'll try and wrap it up quickly tomorrow so everyone can enjoy Man United's pain. So yeah, guys, appreciate it. See you very soon. The next preview will be. Hang on, we're playing Brighton on Sunday, aren't we? We're playing Brighton on Sunday, I think. So either Friday or Saturday night. I haven't decided yet because I'm doing a game on Saturday, but there will be time in Saturday night to do the preview. So I'll let you guys know. It'll be for Friday or Saturday. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your week. Jeez, you can tell how I need some sleep. Guys, take care.
Merry Christmas,
everybody. See you later.